Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I've got a list of essential vinyl wrap tools, the ones I can't live without. So these tools are tools that you're going to need in order to get the job done. I have a couple of bonuses also, which I'll go over, but this is majority of what you need just to get started. So of course, we have a heat gun. So this is the most basic and primitive tool that we're going to be using along with a squeegee, alright? So I've got two different kinds of squeegees. As far as a heat gun goes, you can invest in something a little bit better, but you know, I find that cheap ones, yes, you do blow through them pretty quickly, like, you know, $30, $40 ones. They do break often. What happens is usually the ceramic inside the heat gun starts to break apart and just not do its job the way it should. Sometimes the fan breaks, that kind of stuff. Got a high quality Steinel here, 1920, and it's a great heat gun. So something to invest in if you want to do this for the long term, or if you're just looking to wrap your own car. That might be two different situations. On top of that, the squeegees. So let's go over what we have here. So I have two different stiffnesses of squeegees. I'm trying to get this on buckled up here. So two different stiffnesses of squeegees. We have one pliable and soft squeegee, all right? Now, this is great for getting into contoured areas, all right? Super nice for getting into these recesses and contoured areas. The squeegee will contour well with the vehicle, with the panels. I've also got a more rigid one, all right? So these are both by signmaker tools, and I've also got a more rigid one. So these are magnetic. You can actually slap them onto the car and leave them there. This one, and you notice they have two different buffers. One is by signmaker tools, one is the monkey strip buffer, and these are probably my favorite buffers. We'll go over that in a second. So you're gonna need a rigid one to sort of get into here, push in a little bit more firm, and just do a nice job all around getting things in tight. When it comes to getting it in really tight or getting things tucked underneath seals, what I recommend is, if you don't want to buy one of these, this is a great tool. And it's great for getting right into these little areas here. It's super fine, so you got to be a little bit careful if you drag this across. You can cut the film, but if you don't want to get one of those, then get a triangle. This is this, in my opinion, is a much better tool. It has more finesse and you can do a lot more with it. It's also magnetic, so it sticks to the car. That's a signmaker tool as well. Get yourself 4 magnets. Give you 2 minutes, Jimmy? 2 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Get 4 magnets, and in my mind, you should have 4 magnets always. It's your extra hands, and it's going to help a lot when it comes to being able to position the vinyl where you need it to be, and just cutting out the right size, that kind of stuff, and just centering the film. It's your extra hands, like I said. On top of that, we have a soft magnetic tape measure. You can get one of these pretty much anywhere if you just Google it. This is 120 inches, is the minimum you're going to want to go with. Again, sticks to the car. Super handy to have. On top of that, we have a wrap glove. It's not something that I use very often, but I do use it around the edges, and great to have. It is heat resistant, so you don't burn yourself, and your hand will glide across a little bit more smoothly. After that, we have a knife, another primitive tool. All these are super essential. You don't need to have 2 different types of squeegees, but you're going to need a knife and 1 squeegee and a heat gun. If you don't want a tape measure, you don't get a tape measure. You don't need magnets either. It's not absolutely necessary. It just makes your life way easier. I used to not use magnets in the beginning. It was super difficult and challenging. Just because I used to try and peel off a corner and stick it to the car, and then peel off the other corner and stick it to the car, and just kind of hold it there with it being stuck to the car. Sometimes we have to do that on aluminum body vehicles or on panels that are not magnetic still, but then I have the gecko patches. So this is kind of like some bonus tools. But generally, what you see right here is what you're going to want to have, all right? So got that. Extra blades, NT cutter blades, 30-degree blades, super nice, and they give you a bit more finesse when it comes to cutting. The 45-degree blades are not as nice in my opinion. Great if you're doing signs and stuff like that, but these are much nicer to have as opposed to a 45-degree blade. Get 30-degree blades. I don't even care what brand you use. All right, so after that, we've got, see, these are extra XL, and these are actually on sale right now. I'm doing a little bit of advertising here, even though it doesn't do me any good, but these are actually on sale right now. From what I saw, Monkey Strips is clearing out their XL buffers. So these are the XLs, and they're on sale. They're at a great price right now, so pick yourself up some. If you have too much on the ends, you can always trim off the excess. That's what I usually do. I just like that they have a little bit more coverage than their original size ones. All right, After that, we have a SNitty or a backing cutter. So what this does, this is actually a great tool, and it is a little bit pricey. You don't want to lose it. You can get less expensive alternatives to this, but this one's nice because it's Teflon coated, and with it being Teflon coated means that we can actually slide this, and I'll show you right now. We can slide the blade itself right between the paper, the backing paper, and the film, and actually, if I can get it there, it's actually not that difficult to do. It's not mounted to anything right now, so it's just floating in my hand, but if I can get it. So there we go. So I have the backing paper and the front of the vinyl, all right? So it's right in between. What you do is you take it, and this is great for creating hinges. You can remove a section of your backing paper. You do have to be careful with this because it can leave dusting, all right? So as you can see right there, if your blade isn't sharp, you're gonna leave dusting there. So that is gonna show up underneath your wrap all the way down, which is gonna kind of suck, right? But that's the idea of it. It's Teflon coated so it glides, but it doesn't even stick. Pretty cool, right? Bonus tool. Another bonus tool to have, and one I've gone a long time without, is a blade box. So this is great to have so you don't leave your blades laying around. This is by SNitty tools as well, and so is this bodyguard knife. They're both by SNitty tools. These are great tools to have, and just a couple of bonuses. All in all, what you see here is what you're going to want to have, all right? And I hope this helps you to get started and figure out what it is that you need. You don't really need more than that. You can start getting into more technical tools and things like that, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward when it comes to getting started. You don't need to buy a fancy compressor or a spray gun and stuff like that, which you might need with certain other applications. Like if you're getting into dipping and stuff like that, then yes, you're going to need a spray gun. You need to get a nice mask to protect yourself, and you're going to need a bunch of other things. Getting started with vinyl, I'd say if you get a low budget heat gun, we're probably looking at like 60 bucks, all right? Under 80 bucks roughly, around 80 bucks, let's say. All right, and that kind of depends if you're in the US or Canada. So you can get one of these backing cutters for like, I think they're like 7 or 8 bucks, all right? Just not this one. This one's a bit more expensive because it's a bit more technical. But either way, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more, I actually am going to be releasing my own vinyl wrap kit. Everything that you need all in one, and it's going to have these products in it, all right? So it's going to have the magnets, it's going to have this wrap stick right here, it's going to have, I don't know if it's going to have a heat gun yet, that might be optional, but so you can choose whatever one you want, but it's going to have these things in it. I hope you guys liked it, and thanks for following. Take care.